I'm a 28-year-old woman with a steady job, a decent savings account, and a family dynamic that's well complicated. My younger sister Mia, 25, has always been the golden child. If you've ever met someone who could fall into a pile of trash and come out smelling like roses, that's Mia. She has this way of making everyone around her feel like she's the most important person in the room. And somehow, she gets away with it, every time. Growing up, I was the responsible one. Good grades, part-time jobs, and trying to keep the peace when Mia inevitably stirred up drama. My parents, Grace 55 and Robert 58, didn't help. They adore Mia. Not in a blatant way that anyone outside the family would notice, but in the little things like how Mia's mistakes are brushed off while mine are analyzed under a microscope. My grandparents were my saving grace. They lived just a few miles away in the family home, a charming old place with creaky floors and a garden that always smelled like lavender. I spent countless weekends there, helping my grandma bake or listening to my grandpa's stories about simpler times. They were my escape. They didn't play favorites or hold grudges. They loved us equally, but I always felt like they saw me for who I was, not who they wanted me to be. When they passed away a few months ago, it was like losing the only anchors I had. They'd always been so vibrant, so full of life. Their deaths hit me hard, but I found comfort in the fact that they'd made their wishes clear. They'd promised me the house, the place where I felt most at home, and a portion of their estate. It wasn't about the money for me, it was about the memories and the connection I had with them. The funeral was when things started to feel off. Mia showed up late, wearing a designer dress that screamed, "Look at me." She worked the room like it was a networking event, smiling and laughing like we weren't there to mourn. My parents, of course, hung on her every word, as if she was the only one keeping the family afloat. I tried not to let it bother me. After all, we were there for Grandma and Grandpa, not to hash out old grievances. A few weeks later, I got a call from the family lawyer about the will. I was expecting it to be straightforward. After all, my grandparents had been very clear about their intentions. But when the lawyer started going over the details, my name wasn't mentioned at all. Not for the house, not for the inheritance, nothing. I was stunned. I knew there had to be a mistake. My grandparents wouldn't have just cut me out like that. I asked the lawyer if he was sure, and he said the will had been updated recently, just a few weeks before their deaths. Mia was named the primary beneficiary. She got everything, the house, the money, all of it. When I called Mia to ask about it, she acted surprised. She said she had no idea the will had been changed and suggested that maybe our grandparents had a change of heart. She even threw in a line about how they probably thought I didn't need the money as much since I had a steady job. Something about the whole thing felt off. My grandparents were meticulous people. They wouldn't have made such a major change without talking to me. And the timing, so close to their deaths, seemed suspicious. I started going through old messages and emails from them, looking for any clues. That's when I found it, a scanned copy of an earlier version of the will. It was exactly what I'd expected, with me named as the primary beneficiary of the house and a significant portion of the estate. I confronted Mia with the copy, but she brushed it off, saying it was probably outdated and not legally binding. She accused me of being ungrateful and causing drama. My parents predictably sided with her. They told me to let it go, saying that what's done is done and that fighting over the will would only tear the family apart. But I couldn't let it go. My grandparents trusted me. They'd made their wishes clear, and I wasn't about to let Mia rewrite history. I started digging deeper, looking into the timeline of when the will was supposedly updated. I reached out to the lawyer again, asking for details about the changes. At first he was hesitant, but eventually he admitted that Mia had been the one to push for the updates. She'd been in constant